Hi everybody and welcome to my channel, The New Traveling Critic. I'm your host Kapitan Konupis, and tonight you're finding me on a ship on my way back from Cadiz Southern Avia to Athens. And tonight I would like to talk to you about how I acquired the linguistic skills I told you about in the very first episode of this channel. Now, as you all know, I'm half Greek, half German, so I was raised with both languages, and English, as everybody else I suppose, I learned in school. With Italian, I spent a lot of time with Italian people during my childhood summers in Caristos, and so the logical next step for me was to develop a weakness for Italy, and I wanted to learn Italian, and I did. I did 2 years in Germany during the 1980s, and then upon return back to Greece, I did another 2 years here in Greece, and I received the Diploma Superiore di Firenze. With French, once again, as everybody else, I guess, I learned it in school. But then in 1994, I was already a college student then. A family member made me as a present month during the winter session at the Alliance Française in Paris. For those of you who don't know what the Alliance Française is, it is a French school for language school, a French language school for foreigners. I received the CEFP, Certificat Élémentaire du Français Pratique, deuxième degré, and I returned with a completely Parisian air on my face to college. Spanish, I did 2 years in college, and in summer 1994, I was working during my vacations at a hotel with Russian clients, and I had to learn Russian within a month. Luckily, a family member had a friend who was Russian, and that lady did all the best she could to teach me Russian. But of course, learning proper Russian within a month isn't possible, and instead I learned only bits and pieces. And while I was supposed to stay at the hotel for a month, I didn't even last for a week. Towards the end of the first millennium, somebody gave me as a present a CD with Japanese lessons for beginners, and so I learned the very basics in Japanese. Although the very first phrase I learned in Japanese was before that, it was from Japanese lessons on TV, and it was the phrase "Sugi no kado e hidari magato kudasai," which means at the next corner turn left, please. Also, I found a Turkish dictionary, and I decided I wanted to teach myself a couple of expressions in Turkish, and so I started to learn Turkish autodidactically. During the second decade of the second millennium, so around the 2010s, fascinated by the pictures, movies, songs, photos I saw about Indonesia, I decided I wanted to learn Indonesian, so I bought an Indonesian phrasebook and started to learn Indonesian autodidactically. 10 years later, I suddenly decided I wanted to learn Malay and Icelandic, and since Malay and Indonesian are to 70% identical as languages, in order not to confuse myself, I put my Indonesian phrasebook away and started to learn Malay and Icelandic over YouTube. With Malay, I was very lucky because I found a very talented Malay teacher on YouTube, whereas with Icelandic, I found a channel that was teaching the very basics. They have advanced now, I think, but back then it was the very basics in 30 languages in 10 lessons. And those languages were the ones that I mentioned in the very first episode of this channel, except Indonesian, English, of course, and Malay, because as I said, I learned Malay over the other channel. And I said, since I speak already half of them, why I don't learn them just all? And I did. And this is how I acquired my linguistic skills, and I've learned to speak 3 languages fluently, 1 good, 2 comme ci comme ça, and the rest of them are the basics. In the episode about the Filipino restaurant Bulacan Halo Halo, I had said that I wished I had more time to learn as many languages as I could, as extensively as I could, but time pressures me to stick to the basics, although something inside me consistently urges me to do exactly that, to learn as many languages as I can, as extensively as I can. And this is what I'm going to do according to my best potentials. That was all for today, and until soon, stay well. Goodbye.